Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the ASEAN Virtual Student Opinions Competition AVISOC 2024.
Your Excellency, Dean of Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya, Profesor Dr. Andi Wijaya, MDA, PhD.
The Honorable Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, Bapak Arik Prastya, SOS, MSI, PhD.
The Honorable Vice Dean for General Financials and Resources Affairs, Bapak Dr. Muhammad Faisal Riza, SOS, MSI.
The Honorable Vice Dean for Student, Alumni, and Entrepreneurial Affairs, Bapak Dr. Muhammad Rozikin, MAP.
The Honorable Head of Public Department, Bapak Dr. Fadilah Amin, MAP, PhD.
The Honorable Secretary of Public Affairs Department, Ibu Wike, SOS, MSI, DPA.
The Honorable Head of Business Department, Ibu Dr. Nur Imamah, SAB, MAB, PhD.
The Honorable Secretary of Business Department, Bapak Dr. Ari Darmawan, SAB, MAB.
The Honorable Head of Public Administration Study Program, Ibu Dr. Niken Lastiti, VA, SAP, MAP.
The Honorable Head of Business Administration Study Program, Bapak Dr. Handes Muhammad Saifi, MSI.
The Honorable Head of Taxation Study Program, Profesor Dr. Andes Kadarisman Hidayati, MSI.
The Honorable Head of Education Administration Study Program, Bapak Dr. Bambang Santoso Haryono, MS.
The Honorable Head of Library Science Study Program, Ibu Dr. Farida Nurani, SOS, MSI.
The Honorable Head of the Tourism Study Program, Bapak Dr. Handes Edi Yulianto, MP.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for us, Hikmah Ayu Fitriani,
And I am Akmal Falahuddin as the Master of Ceremonies for today's event. Honored guests and beloved attendants, our agenda today will be start by singing Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and followed by singing hymn Universitas Brawijaya, led by conductor. Please welcome to the stage Versovanda Gelia Putyaningrum.
First guest and audience, please join me in standing as we sing together the Indonesian national anthem Indonesia Raya and hymn Universitas Brawijaya.
Indonesia
seated. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are about to listen to the opening remarks delivered by the Chief Executive of AVISOC 2024. Please welcome Bapak Auli Lukman Aziz, SS, SPD, MPD.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dean of Faculty of Administrative Science, Professor Andi Wijaya, MDA PhD, Vice Dean, Head of Departments, Head of Study Program, Professors, Lecturers, students, and also esteemed participants of AVISOC 2024. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and good day to the audience attending live at Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya, and to you watching live from Zoom meeting or YouTube live streaming. I'm honored to stand before you as the chair of AVISOC 2024, an event that has evolved remarkably since its inception in 2021. Over the years, we have witnessed a substantial increase in both the number of participants and participating countries. This year, we are happy to receive 300 pieces of work from 5 nations in Southeast Asia. This high spirit of participation of AVISOC since its first establishment in 2021 is a testament to the growing interest and engagement in this platform. I'm pleased to share that this year, our committee will do the same system as last year, that is the medalist system, comprising gold, silver, bronze medals. This alteration has resulted in an increased number of winners compared to previous years, fostering a more rewarding experience for all involved. So, after a careful selection by the committee and the judges, we have determined 50 participants or teams for the opinion article and 30 participants or team from the poster category that deserve medals. This decision was made to ensure a fair and competitive environment for all participants. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the organizing committee, to their unwavering dedication and hard work, Pak Okto, Bu Rizky, Mas Edo, Mas Asmaraihan, and also other members whom I could not mention everyone. And I would like to thank His Excellency Ambassador of Indonesia for ASEAN, Mr. Dery Aman, who has allocated some of his busy time to share with us very useful insights from his long experience working for international organizations. Thank you everyone for your commitment and enthusiasm. Let us embark on this journey together, celebrating knowledge, diversity, and excellence. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you Bapak Auli Lukman to opening remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second speech will be delivered by Dean, Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya, to Professor Dr. Andi Wijaya, MDA PhD. Time is yours.
Baik, terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everybody. Honorable guest, Indonesian Ambassador from ASEAN, yaitu Mr. Dery Aman. Thank you Pak Dery sudah datang ke Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya. Dan ini suatu kehormatan for us ya, Pak Dery berkenan hadir untuk menyambut acara AVISOC ya. And also Vice Dean mungkin ada yang hadir ya, and also Head of Department. Ini saya lihat ada Ibu Imamah PhD, alhamdulillah sudah hadir juga. Pak Ari Darmawan, ini Sekretaris Departemen Administrasi Bisnis ya, sekretarisnya Bu Imamah ya. Kemudian sampingnya Secretary of Administrative Science Pak Gunawan, terima kasih Dr. Gunawan. Kemudian di sampingnya itu ada Bu Wike ya, Secretary of Departemen Public Administration ya, alhamdulillah. Terus ada Pak Alfi, ini Dr. Alfi ini juga Head of Study Program Master Degree, ya, Master of Public Administration. Kita punya double degree dengan Jepang, ya, di arrange Pak Alfi ini sudah mulai since 2007 until now ya. Kemudian ini senior kita, Bapak Dr. Edi Yulianto, alhamdulillah hadir ya, Head of Study Program in Tourism ya. Jadi Pak Dery, saya juga melaporkan di kita ada 6 program studi. We have 6 study program. The old one is Public and Business Administration study program, and we add 4 more, yaitu Tourism and then Taxation, and we have also Library and Information Science, and the last is Education Administration ya. Jadi semuanya ada 6 S1. In the level master we have 3 study program, Master in Public Administration, Master in Business Administration, and Master in Higher Degree Education ya. Kemudian kita juga punya doctoral program ya, in here kampus fakultas di Malang sini, and we also have in the kampus Jakarta. Jadi di Jakarta kita punya doctoral degree dan kampus already owned by the university di daerah Tebet. Nah, itu khusus untuk S3, ada S3 manajemen, S3 ilmu administrasi dan S3 hukum, dan juga S2. Kita juga buka S2 di sana. Nah, Bapak Ibu sekalian, juga ini Chairman of AVISOC 2024, Mr. Aulia Lukman Aziz. Thank you Pak Aulia, sudah arrange this activity. And then this is yang the third atau the fourth ya Pak? Keempat ya. Kita yang keempat ini. We start 2021 and until now already 2024. So this is the fourth ya. Yang keempat AVISOC. Dan juga the committee, tadi seluruh panitia ya, dosen-dosen yang hadir yang tidak bisa saya sebutkan satu persatu, kemudian esteemed participants and general audience ya, including audience from overseas atau from other our campus ya, karena beberapa involved by hybrid. Beberapa join with online atau daring. Thank you. Welcome to here. And then it is with immense joy and anticipation that I stand before you today. The grand final. Ini grand finalnya aja ya. Jadi karena sebelumnya we already did the process from the beginning until the grand final. The grand final of the ASEAN Virtual Student Opinion Competition, AVISOC 2024, the International Student Seminar and Awarding Day. This day marks the culmination of weeks of dedication, hard work, and intellectual exchange among our talented participations. And today we gather not only to celebrate the winners who will be awarded gold, silver, and bronze medal. Nanti juga there is a prize for this, but also to applaud the unwavering spirit and commitment of each and every participant Your passion for knowledge and your courage to voice your opinions are the cornerstones of progress and transformation. Winning is truly a great achievement, one that deserves recognition and celebration. However, it is equally important to remember that the journey of learning and self-discovery does not end here. It continues, unfurling new opportunities, challenges, and horizons. To those who will be adorned with medal today, congratulations on your outstanding performance. May this be a stepping stone to even greater height in your academic pursuits. To those who did not secure a medal, I urge you to view this as a moment of growth and a chance to refine your skills, and an opportunity to return stronger and more determined. Remember, the true essence of any competition lies not in the accolades, but in the knowledge gained, the friendships forged, and the resilience developed. Each one of you is a beacon of inspiration, and I have no doubt that your contribution will shape the future in ways we can only imagine. As we move forward, let us continue to embrace curiosity, challenge conventions, and champions the causes we hold dear. The world needs your voice, your ideas, and your unwavering dedication to progress. Once again, I congratulate all participants for their exceptional efforts, and I extend my deepest gratitude to the organizer, sponsor, supporters who have made AVISOC 2024 a resounding success. I would also like to thank our co-hosts who have been with us in the last 3 years. I do hope that our collaboration for AVISOC and for other activities will continue the futures. Thank you, and may your journey in academia be filled with discovery, enlightenment, and endless possibility. Untuk menutup hari ini our meeting, ya, pantun yang sederhana ya. Jadi nanti setelah kalimat tolong di mention saya ya. Saya itu berarti strong, agile, dan enthusiastic. Itu slogannya via UB, ya, via saya ya. Jadi with you we are something.
Saya.
Without you we are nothing.
Hai.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Professor Andi. Please, the Professor Andi remain on the stage because we're going to continue to the next sessions, which is opening ceremony. Please, to all the committee, prepare to document these moments because we're going to open this AVISOC 2024 by striking gong. I would also invite the chief of AVISOC 2024, the speakers and all the lecturers to come up to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sound of the gong symbolizes that AVISOC 2024 is officially opened.
Please to the speaker, Pak Lukman dan Pak Andi Fefta remain on the stage and move to the middle of the stage, and I would also invite all the distinguished guests and lecturers to accompany the photo session. Alright, I will lead these photo sessions by counting down from 3, 2, 1. Once more, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1. Again, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, give applause. To all the distinguished guests, please respectfully return to your seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us show you as a performance by Sanggar Seni Mahasiswa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Sanggar Seni Mahasiswa. And please enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Sanggar Seni Mahasiswa.
Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the opening sessions, we have laid the foundation for today's discussions, exploring key ideas and setting the stage for what promises to be an enlightening and thought-provoking dialogue.
Now, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce our moderator for the main segment, a session expert in the field who will guide us through today's discussion with speaker.
Today's moderator will be Belivia Atali Yokom, who is currently a student of Public Administration's study program of the Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Belivia Atali Yokom to the stage.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Asian Virtual Students Opinion Competition 2024. With honor, I am Belivia Atali, who will be taking over to this event to facilitate with all of you, along with our exceptional speakers who will be sharing their knowledge with us today. But before we begin to the talk show session, let us first get acquainted with our amazing speaker today. Allow me to introduce our distinguished speaker this afternoon, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Iskandar Dery Aman, as Indonesian Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Republic of Indonesia to ASEAN. For this morning session, Mr. Dery will discuss and talk on the theme of From Ideas to Action, Mobilizing Youth for SDGs Implementation in ASEAN. Let us invite and welcome our amazing speaker for today, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Iskandar Dery Aman. All right, hello Mr. Dery. We are very honored to have you with us this morning, and we would like to know, how do you do today?
Thank you very much. A very good morning to everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. I'm good. Well, every time I come to Malang, it's always a very happy and nice feeling, because as an alumni of Universitas Brawijaya, it's an honor for me to be back. And I studied in 1988. I entered the economic faculty, development studies, and I graduated in 1993. And I moved back to Jakarta, where I came from. And again, it's always a great pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the kind invitation for me to be one of the speakers this morning. And I fully support all the program of activities, all the creative initiatives that Universitas Brawijaya always progresses and try to achieve with, especially being one out of 500 great universities in the world. Thank you.
Once again, give applause to Mr. Dery. We are very glad to hear that you're actually very excited to share your knowledge about implementing SDGs. And we would also want to know that, how do you view the role of youth in implementing the SDGs within Asian countries, as the opening for our discussion?
Well, if we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, of course this is a vision a concept, a framework that is very relevant to our world today. The SDGs with its 17 goals, and all of them are interconnected, and all of them are very relevant to our daily lives, including in terms of education, the world of academicians. So, and also the theme, how youth can contribute, can take actions in trying to implement the SDGs, is a theme that I applaud, I commend, because it is very relevant once again. And the youth SDGs is about now and the future. And therefore, the youth will have a great stake and interest on how the SDGs should be implemented, should be achieved, because it's about your future, how the world, how the global world will be once you are already graduated and once you are already in the working force. So I encourage our youth to be aware of the SDGs and also to learn, to study it thoroughly, all these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, so that in the end, as youth, you can be creative, innovative, and try to take actions and be contributive in the implementation and the achievement of these SDGs.
All right. So, in your opinion, why is it crucial to engage youth, as we are one of the agent of change in the journey of Sustainable Development Goals? Why do you think it's crucial for youth to engage?
As I've mentioned, SDGs is not only about today, but it's also for the future, for the next generation. The next generation is the youth. And youth, if you want to have a better world in the near future, you should engage, you should be involved on how these SDGs can be implemented and achieved. So the SDGs is there. I would say that mostly will be beneficial for the youth, and therefore the youth should know what is actually SDGs, especially the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So I think that is the relevance why youth is being encouraged, is being pushed to contribute, to get involved, to collaborate in all of the activities, the actions in trying to implement and achieve the SDGs. Don't forget, Sustainable Development Goals target is set to be achieved in 2030. So if we go into the numbers, within 6 years, we are hoping that all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals should be more or less achieved. And again, all of you, the youth, whether you are studying, I think right now you are in the early 20 or before 20, age of 20, you have a lot of time ahead to look into this and expect that you will live in a better world based on the achievement of the SDGs.
All right. Since, as what have you mentioned before, that it's very crucial for us as the youngsters to implement one of like the most core strategy to implement SDGs. Coming from your background as the Indonesian representative in ASEAN, what challenges do young people in ASEAN face when trying to contribute to the SDGs?
Well, I think everyone is aware that the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 is a global concept which has been adopted by the United Nations, and of course most countries in the world is a member of the United Nations, but the implementation itself it will also reflect not only globally but also regionally. In this case is ASEAN, and also nationally at the national level, us, Indonesia, all of us, all of the country in the world will try to implement and achieve these sustainable development goals. So now if we talk about our region, the most relevant region for Indonesia is ASEAN, the concentric circle of our foreign policy. And then a bit wider is the Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific is can be regarded as Asia-Pacific. So now the implementation of each of these sustainable development goals targets will not only be achieved globally but also regionally in ASEAN and nationally. So youth, the next generation, will have some kind of obligation to look into this implementation of sustainable development goals at the national level, or the most easiest way for our youth is to try to implement it within your respective communities, your local community. From these local communities, it will go into the national level. So it can start with where you live, it can start with where you're studying at Universitas Brawijaya, or you can start with the city of Malang. What contribution, what ideas, what creative thinking can the youth contribute towards the advancement of SDGs within your own local community, the place where you study, your university, Universitas Brawijaya, your city you live in, the city of Malang, and then everything will come into the national level and in the end to the regional level, which is ASEAN. One point that everyone must keep in mind is that when we talk about foreign relations, foreign policy, implementation of SDGs outside the national level, I would advise that everyone should strengthen their ability to communicate in foreign languages. English and the other UN languages such as Arabic, Russian, Chinese Mandarin, Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean, those are languages which I would say that would be very useful for young generations to excel, to advance in terms not only at the national level but also in terms of its international forums.
All right. From what we can recall is that we do face challenges as young people, but the implementation should be the easiest way is to engage with local communities to international, and it can be started from Universitas Brawijaya, as what have you mentioned, by enhancing our ability to speak foreign languages. And Mr. Derry, considering Indonesia's large youth population and their increasing role in social movements, from climate action to digital innovation, how do you see ASEAN leveraging this demographic to accelerate SDGs implementation across the region?
Now, if we talk about ASEAN, there are of course 10 ASEAN member states, including Indonesia, and we all can be proud enough to regard Indonesia as the biggest, the largest country as one ASEAN member state. The whole ASEAN population is around 650 million people. And 34% of that population is the young generation, between 15 to 35 years old. 34% out of 650 million ASEAN population. Now, you will have to keep that in mind. That is an asset for a country or a region to progress, to achieve developments, to have this strength of economic development. It starts with relatively a large population, but a large population is not enough if it's not being governed or managed towards the support of economic progress, development, and national and regional developments. So in ASEAN, there are a lot of initiatives based on how to implement further the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. There are a lot of initiatives which has been established by the youth and also by the framework of ASEAN cooperation. So I would also suggest and advise that young generation, with all your strength, especially as I have mentioned, you should master certain foreign languages which are quite common, being used in international communication, in international activities. Young people should provide themselves to be ready to communicate, to interact, to engage within the ASEAN community or even broader ASEAN community and beyond. To do that, of course, you will have to master the essence of communication in foreign languages. And then you can also, if you have those prerequisites, you are confident enough to join activities within the ASEAN framework or even global framework, which are being done by the youth. For example, there is the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. There is the youth-led SDGs initiatives and partnerships. The ASEAN Youth Forums and Platforms, there are a lot of them. ASEAN Youth Entrepreneurship Initiative. A lot of frameworks, a lot of mechanism among the youth that has been established for the youth to participate, to interact, to engage within these mechanisms. So I would again advise the youth to find what is interesting for you and then join those kind of activities.
All right, Mr. Derry, what we can recall is that to leverage the implementation across the region of SDGs itself, since Indonesia consists of the young age ratio in the whole population, so it plays a big factor in developing economy and any other factor. So we can recall it as an obligation for us to provide ourselves to soar even higher for our resource to make it even broader. Mr. Derry, following the success of the ASEAN Youth Forum and various youth-led initiatives, we have seen growing interest from young people, especially in our generation, in SDGs itself. However, there seems to be a gap between youth aspirations and policy implementations. Based on your experience, what concrete mechanisms can ASEAN develop to institutionalize youth participation in SDG-related decision-making processes?
Well, again, first, in ASEAN, we already have a lot of initiative, mechanism, and establishments that provide the youth to participate, to contribute, and in this case, within the theme of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. It's already there. Of course, there are certain challenges. As I've mentioned, the keenness of our young generation to participate may differ from each respective ASEAN member states. But again, by coming here, I'm hoping that I'm contributing to a certain level that it is important to emphasize the importance of our young generation in this university, the Universitas Brawijaya, to be active, to be engaging, to be participative towards all the forums that we already established within the ASEAN mechanism. So we should also be aware that there are specific situations and challenges in ASEAN with regard to the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. One of them is economic disparities, poverty is still there, and inequalities. And then environmental sustainability and climate change will remain an issue not only for this generation but the continuation of the generation to come. And then education and health, employment and decent work. This is very relevant to all of you. Once you have finished your studies, your next mission would be to find a job or even continue your studying to a master's degree or doctoral degree. There is also the digital divide. These challenges are there. But it does not mean that the opportunity is not there. The opportunity will always be there. It's a matter of how the young generation, youth, everyone here in the room regarded as youth, or the participants joining online, whenever you are regarded as youth, you have all the opportunity to try to accentuate yourselves. The forums are there. It's a matter of how you want to do it. So, in terms of government policy, Indonesia's government within the ASEAN framework, we have always supported the advancement of youth, including women and children. Youth, women, and children. Again, there are a lot of programs that have been initiated by Indonesia, by our colleagues in ASEAN member states to have this youth collaboration, youth partnership, youth mechanisms that all youth in ASEAN can participate. It's a matter of the youth here in Indonesia, here at the Universitas Brawijaya, to find out this information. I would advise all of you need to know the website of the ASEAN Secretariat, asean.org. If you browse into that website, you will know that there are a lot of opportunities for youth to participate in ASEAN related activities for youth. And again, these programs, these activities are being formulated by governments, including Indonesian government, together with our colleagues from ASEAN member states, so that we have advancement opportunities for our younger generation and for the youth within the ASEAN, and the theme can also relate to the implementation of the SDGs.
Alright, as we can see, ASEAN have already been implementing mechanisms to develop youth participation within the ASEAN mechanism. Challenges are there, yes, but opportunities will always be there as well. It's regarding the willingness to make it happen. The policy implementation have been implemented, and it's the matter of the youth seeking to participate in related activities. So, given the recent ASEAN Youth Development Index report showing disparities in youth opportunities across member states, particularly in rural areas, how can Indonesia share its best practices in youth empowerment programs like the Pemuda ASEAN platform to ensure more inclusive youth participation in SDG implementation?
This is an important issue that you have raised. It's about the disparity that we still have in ASEAN, among ASEAN member states. We all should be aware that the economic progress and development among ASEAN member states are still different. We have ASEAN member states such as Singapore, which is very advanced, and we have other ASEAN member states that is not that advanced like Singapore. So the gap and the disparity is there. Because of these gaps and disparities, directly and indirectly, it will also create the gaps among the youth within each ASEAN member states. That is why programs for youth empowerment and advancement are being kept high in ASEAN agendas, because we all understand, we all accept the importance of empowering our youth, so that not only the younger generation is much better than the previous generation, but also to address the disparity that we still have among our younger generations in ASEAN. So therefore, there are a lot of programs where all the youth from ASEAN member states meet to have exchange of views, to have discussions, to have these connections, these connectivities, these interactions, so that the youth from Indonesia can be aware and learn from other youth from ASEAN member states, like from Cambodia, from Laos, from Vietnam, from Myanmar. You can learn from each other. From that, we can try to narrow the development gaps or the gaps, the disparities that we have among ASEAN member states. So these, or addressing disparities or gaps that we still have, is highly important. How to address it is to have more interaction, more collaboration among the youth within the ASEAN framework. So, some concrete steps, if I may share with all of you, for youth to contribute to SDGs, and also by trying to achieve these SDGs, it would also automatically mean addressing the gaps, the disparities that we have among ASEAN member states, especially at the youth or the younger generation. As I have mentioned before, get involved in local initiatives. Get involved in local initiatives, whether among your community, where you live, where you study, at Universitas Brawijaya, or any other possible initiatives that you find interesting, join it. Contribute to those kind of initiatives. And then be a volunteer. You need to have the spirit of volunteering to causes or to activities which are positive, which are beneficial for a certain community, for the youth. Those kind of initiatives or activities, I would advise you to volunteer yourself to join. And then start or join social enterprises, social activities. You start with your own ideas together with your friends, or you find social initiatives that you have in your local communities, then you volunteer yourself to join, to participate, to contribute. By that, I can guarantee that if most or the majority of our younger generation have those kind of spirit and motivation, we then have a more dynamic, proactive, agile, and resilient younger generation. So, you need to be a person who has the spirit and motivation to collaborate, to volunteer, to collaborate, to contribute. Those are key points for, as I see it, for younger generation to be someone who has the capacity for the future in contributing and collaborating for a good cause.
As we can see, disparity is an important issue that's still going on across ASEAN. The gap and disparity is there directly and indirectly, but concreting program for youth keep being conducted to address, to narrow the gap, get involved in possible initiatives as we can tackle gap by our initiatives to collaborate, to volunteer, and to contribute. Mr. Derry, speaking of challenges, one of the factors is economic recovery. And in light of the post-pandemic economic recovery, many young people are struggling with unemployment and limited access to skills development. How is ASEAN planning to align youth employment initiatives with SDG targets, particularly SDG 8 on decent work and economic growth?
Once again, the SDGs 2030, it's a global concept which is also being adopted regionally and nationally. So what we are trying to achieve globally will always be automatically something that we can also be achieved regionally and nationally. So now, on another context, you, all of you, as I see it now, you are the youth, you are the younger generation. You may be focusing and concentrating and you are busy with your studies, to achieve your undergraduate titles, achievements, and then after that you will have to think what's next. What's next? As I have mentioned, either you find a job or you continue your studies for a master's degree through scholarships, of course. From now on, what I'm trying to say and share with you is you need to see the future, the near future. You need to anticipate it. So while you are focusing on your current studies, you will need to have anticipation after I graduate. What will I do? That is my advice to all of you, so that you can prepare yourself towards that road ahead from now on while you are still studying. So once you graduated, you are ready to face the next step. Job opportunities will always be there, relatively larger amount or less amount of job opportunities. But the key is whether there's a large amount of opportunity or not, are you all ready for that kind of situation? How can you be ready is from now on. You study well, you take all the opportunities that you find while you are studying, be active, be engaging, have the motivation to volunteer yourself to certain activities. So decent work, of course, it's very relative, but it's there, whether it's a lot of opportunities or not. Your competition will be even tougher than my generation or Pak Dekan's generation. Pak Dekan is 86, I'm 88. At that time, it's a different ball game. Now, or 2-3 years to come, when you graduate, when you have graduated, it's a different ball game when I graduated in 93. You need to prepare yourself. The competition, again, is much tougher. If your spirit and motivation or your mentality is just average or even below average, you will not succeed. That I can tell you. So you need to prepare yourself to be above average. If the average is 7, you need to be 8 and above. Don't be 7. That's average. Average is the majority. You will have to compete with the majority plus the ones that are above you. So be above the average. For that, you need to be serious with your studies. You need to prepare yourself. One day, you will admit that this last part that I'm saying is actually true. You may not accept it today, but once you face the situation that you did not get a job, difficult for you to get a job, then you can remember what I said, that you have to prepare it from now. Be serious what is going to happen in the near future. Again, it's going to be much different, much tougher, much competitive than what you see today. That is your future. And the only way you can cope with it is to prepare yourself with all the ingredients which are needed for your future, that kind of future. So opportunities will be there, will always be there. The difference is that what kind of opportunities are there, how many opportunities are there, that's the difference, but the opportunities are there. Are you prepared for those kind of opportunities? That is the key point that all students, all young generation must remember. If not, you will regret it later on. All right?
All right, I do agree with your statement, Mr. Derry, and I believe that any of these participants watching online and offline, they're afraid of being average. They want to soar even higher rather than being 7. All right, young generation can implement the work by seeing near future and also anticipating in graduation afterhand. Job opportunities will always be there by a large amount, and the key is to prepare yourself to study well in order to volunteer on decent work contributing to economic growth. Speaking of opportunities, Mr. Derry, The digital transformation across ASEAN has created new opportunities for youth engagement with Indonesia's successful digital initiatives like Digital Talent Scholarship Program. How can ASEAN scale up similar programs to empower youth in contributing to SDG implementation through technology and innovation?
So, the future, the near future, will be mostly related to new technologies. Artificial intelligence, that is today. We don't know in 10 or 20 years to come, which at that time, you'll be someone who should be making decisions. So today we have AI. You should look into the future. What is after AI? Okay, that is how you prepare yourself. You anticipate things, anticipate, so that you are not caught by surprise, so that you are ready. I have anticipated this kind of situation, that's why I'm prepared to do this. That is one of the keys on how to manage, if I may say, life. Okay, and then again, I emphasize once again, in terms of ASEAN initiatives, if we talk about the youth, the younger generation, there is an abundance of programs and activities being initiated by ASEAN. I give an example. ASEAN has an ASEAN Foundation. ASEAN Foundation located in Jakarta. It's different than the ASEAN Secretariat. ASEAN Secretariat is another thing. ASEAN Foundation is another institution within the ASEAN mechanism. One of the focus of ASEAN Foundation is the advancement of youth. The advancement of youth, especially related to technology, to digital technologies, including artificial intelligence. The ASEAN Foundation has built and collaborated with current companies such as Microsoft, Huawei, Google. They have partnership with those kind of companies for what? To address issues of information technology related or directed towards the advancement of and empowerment of youth in the digital technology era. So what I'm saying is that I have no doubt at all that ASEAN has not addressed current issues which are important for the youth empowerment, including technology issues, the advancement or the growth of technology, digital technologies, including artificial intelligence. In ASEAN, we have anticipated that. So it's up to the younger generation to be involved in those kind of initiatives. I think it's very easy for you to get involved on that. First, you have to have the mentality and the interest to find information. I've mentioned before, browse the ASEAN Secretariat website, ASEAN.org. You can also browse the ASEAN Foundation website. From that, you will get a lot of information. From there, you will know what is actually interests you to join. If they have a program, they will always announce it. It's for you to register and for them to select whether you are equip whether you are eligible to be selected as participants. I've been in many activities within the ASEAN mechanism, especially the ASEAN Foundation program of activities, which always involves young generation. Young generation from Kalimantan, from Sumatra, from Nusa Tenggara Timur, from Papua, and of course also from Java. They all participated in these programs not by invitation, but by registering yourself to participate and join those activities. So remember, those kind of opportunities are there. It's a matter of you to find the information and to put yourself inside that opportunities.
All right, we believe looking to the future that young generations always have to participate, as it is a key for not being caught up clueless, as Asian Foundation has built connection with tech company to address issues of information and technology in this digital technology era. ASEAN has addressed current issues including technical issues, digital technique, including artificial intelligence. Again and again, our initiatives is the main factor from digital initiatives. Now, we would like to know the instance of Asian youth regarding their concern in environmental sustainability. So, environmental sustainability is a key concern for ASEAN youth, as evidenced by the growing youth-led climate movements across the region. How can ASEAN better support these initiatives and connect them with broader regional sustainability goals?
She has a lot of questions for me, and difficult questions. It's not easy for me to respond, I need 1 or 2 minutes to think what kind of response would be best to her great questions. So my comment to her, you're doing a great job as a moderator, and I think youth, students, younger generation like her is someone that everyone should try to be being active, have a good command in English, and while of course she prepared the questions, of course, but to prepare a question, someone needs to do some research, right? It's not just you wake up in the morning and then you get the questions. You have to do some research to get these questions. And you have to think, and you have to make sure whether these questions are relevant to be addressed to me, right? They are relevant, but they are difficult questions. So, I hope this is your last question, because I'm pretty drained with all the questions that have been provided to me, and I'm trying my best to provide the best and very relevant response to that. So on environmental issues, climate change, which also include to that, I think throughout my responses, my views, sharing information to all of you, I think it's very clear that if we talk about ASEAN, there are no issues in this world, or at least in our region, that has been left out. Everything is being dealt with. You name it, political security issues, economic issues, socio-cultural issues, human rights, you name it, narrowing the development gap, maritime cooperation, tourism, infrastructure, transportation, all issues in our region or in the world has been dealt with in ASEAN. Not to mention youth again. Youth is everywhere. Youth related to health, youth related to technology, youth related to sports, youth related to arts, youth related to tourism. We all have that initiatives. Now on climate change and environment. Specifically, we have the ASEAN Youth Climate Action Network. Okay? This is a network. It's there and it's open for anyone to join. So there are a lot of initiatives, networks, mechanism, forum, dialogue, whatever, related to a certain issue which is offered for the youth to join, to participate. So you just find your interest. If your interest is about environment, join this network. Find out, just Google it, and then find out, oh, it's open for me to join. If they have an activity, I can join, whether it's online or offline. If it's in Indonesia, let's say it's being held in Surabaya, let's say, you go to Surabaya on a weekend, who knows? What's the key to this? The key is your spirit and motivation. If you have that spirit and motivation, any opportunity there is some push from your heart and mind that I want to join them. I want to engage with that initiative. So again, any issues, if I may say, related to ASEAN's interests, there is always a forum where it's exclusively for the young generation, for youth. Youth talking about arts, youth talking about tourism, economic creativity. They have these forums about climate change, about environment, about education. So it's a matter of you, the younger generation, the so-called youth, find those information and gather around, whether it's you alone or with your friends. Let's join that. Let's connect with them and see how it goes, whether it is something that really interests you or it's just a matter of for you to know. And then you find other avenues, other initiatives for you to join. So again, for the younger generation, the whole world, ASEAN is there for you to explore.
All right. To close the discussion session, we would like to hear your hopes for the role of ASEAN youth in achieving the SDGs by 2030.
So I'm glad that this is the last question. So again, to sum up what I have been trying to say for the last almost 1 hour, if I may say, is that the implementation and the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in 2030 will depend on a lot of factors and elements. A lot of factors and elements. Countries, government, private sector, NGOs, international organizations, and also one element is there, it's you, the youth. The youth can contribute to the achievement of the SDGs 2030. Again, there are 17 targets, Sustainable Development Goals, there are 17. One of them is education. If you look into the targets, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, I strongly believe, I firmly believe, I am very confident that any one of you can find a way to contribute to one or two or three of the goals. It's as simple as that, whether you have the desire, the motivation, the spirit to contribute towards those Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17, and each one of them is very relevant to any youth, any younger generation to contribute. That's how I think.
All right, we as the young generation would make sure that we contribute to each one of the SDGs factor. What an insightful discussion from Mr. Derry. Now we're opening the floor for questions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your chance to ask our amazing speaker anything you would like to know more about. Later on, for the most active participants, there will be a prize at the end of the session. You can contact the committee for more details. To anyone who would want to ask, please raise your hand. Kindly mention your name, institution, and program of study, and the committee will help you with a microphone.
The most active is, of course, the moderator. So please, not difficult questions. Tired already? Now you can ask anything what you want. I'll try my best to respond, whether it's about SDGs, about anything, about life, about your girlfriend or boyfriend. You're open to ask.
Okay, good morning, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunities and amazing explanation about our SDGs implementation. So basically, I would like to ask about in this technology and disruptive era, right? We live in the society 5.0, right? Now, can you mention like how can ASEAN countries collaborate to create cross-border cybersecurity initiatives that helps prevent digital violations while respecting its differences in every state in ASEAN, right? And like, what are the shared standards and policies could facilitate stronger regional cyber resilience? It's like, you know, like the steps that should Asian policymakers take to ensure these laws are adaptable to the rapid changes in the society 5.0. Thank you so much.
That's another difficult question. I just mentioned about, let me just stand up, okay? Sometimes sitting down is tiring. So sometimes, not sometimes, I just mentioned about that ASEAN can be regarded as an organization that has dealt with everything that we have in this region. And you have mentioned cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, of course, is another new issue that has risen to be an issue which is, of course, beneficial, useful for ASEAN member states, but also creates challenges and problems. So an issue, especially a new issue such as artificial intelligence, there are always pros and cons. There are always positive and negatives. We try to reap the positive ones. We try to address or lessen the negative ones. Cybersecurity is just the same. We need cybersecurity, but there are challenges and problems to that. So ASEAN has dealt with cybersecurity. We have a forum, intergovernmental forum on cybersecurity. I believe we already also have an action plan on how to work with, on how to deal with cybersecurity issues, to reap again the benefits, to gain what is positive can be taken for the advancement of cybersecurity in ASEAN, but most importantly, how to avoid, how to manage, how to handle challenges and problems that we have coming from cybersecurity. So it has been dealt. So the points that you have stated are some of the challenges, some of the problems. I believe with the action plan that we have among ASEAN member states, among ASEAN, is trying to handle and to manage those problems. So we still need to see on how we can implement it, because this is relatively very new, cybersecurity. We have different national regulations among ASEAN member states to deal with cybersecurity. We try to come up with a cooperation among ASEAN on how we can minimize the problematic issues within cybersecurity, but the most important thing is how we can cooperate to gain the benefits of cybersecurity. So in the near future, with that kind of understanding that we already have a cooperation among ASEAN, cybersecurity issues will be something that we can avoid the problems, we can address positively the challenges, and we can gain the benefits by having those cooperation. So the points that you have mentioned, I believe, with our cooperation in ASEAN that we already have on cybersecurity, those points will be taken care. So in the near future, cybersecurity is, of course, a challenging issue, but that challenging issue will be taken up by ASEAN, directed towards gaining advantages, gaining positive and beneficial points that ASEAN member states can enjoy together. So, very relevant question. Thank you very much. And I think the important thing that any issues that has come up within our ASEAN mechanism, ASEAN try to deal with it, try to cooperate, try to take all the benefits, and also try to avoid any possible or potential problems within an issue. So that would be my response. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Derry. Would you still want to proceed another 2 or 3 questions, or?
It depends on this lady who puts up
Who puts
10
the
minutes,
timekeeper?
5 minutes, the timekeeper. It depends on her.
All right. Is anyone still have any other question you would like to know about? Yes, the committee will gladly help with the microphone.
Oke, yang perempuan ya. Itu. Oh itu. Oke, silakan.
Okay, thank you for the opportunities. My name is Apriliaska and I'm from Library and Information Science, Universitas Brawijaya. So my question is, earlier it was mentioned that youth have an important role in SDGs. However, as we know that lately, the world's problems are increasingly complex and unpredictable. We often find that youth in this generation like something instant and consumptive. So what can youth do so that they still realize that SDGs are crucial for the world's future? Thank you.
Well, I would say with an underlining that regardless what people, certain parties say that SDGs is something that is impossible to be achieved or a very ambitious agenda, but I would be in the position and of the view that SDGs is a highly beneficial concept that I would also encourage that everyone should support it. Everyone should try to contribute in achieving it. Because if you look at each of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, are there anything negative to that? I don't see anything negative to that. It's all visionary and highly beneficial, highly needed, desirable goals that we in the world, because it's adopted by the United Nations, don't forget 159 countries, if I'm not mistaken, has adopted these Sustainable Development Goals to be implemented, to be achieved, because all of them firmly believe that SDGs is something that can provide a better world. So that is basically what we need to understand from the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. We don't see anything that should be taken against it. On the contrary, we need to support it. We need to achieve it, because everything is good and right what we have in this SDGs 2030. Of course, challenges are there, problems are there. It does not mean that the concept is not good. It does not mean that the concept is not relevant. It's the problem of its implementation. It's a problem of its efforts in trying to achieve it. That is the problem. We don't kill the concept, but we need to address the problems that we are facing in achieving it. So that's how I would like to emphasize that SDGs 2030, we are now in 2024, going into 2025. So the last 5 years will be very crucial and critical whether the world, all of us, all countries, really can achieve the SDGs 2030 fully, 100% in each of the targets, or, of course, there would be some differences of achievement within the respective goals. But the last 5 years is, of course, will be something that is very crucial and critical, and I believe that all of us, each one of us, need to be in a position to continue our support and continue and strengthen our desire to achieve it.
All right, maybe to conclude our discussion and question and answer session, is there anyone who still want to ask, but just another simple question? All right. All right, the committee will, you may stand up and mention your name.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity that given to me. My name is Gusti Mareta Yosef Audina from Public Administration student. So my question is, can the SDGs be fully achieved by 2030? But considering that many countries, especially ASEAN, face economic, social, and political challenges, how realistic is it for all SDGs to be achieved by the target year? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another relevant question. Well, of course, everyone now is asking or being critical, questioning, is the SDGs 2030 something that is achievable by 2030? All of them. these kind of undertakings, there is always phases in its implementation. In every process of undertakings, there will always be some kind of a review. There is, for sure, there is a midterm review. Midterm would mean in the middle of the implementation, between 2030 and 2015, if I'm not mistaken. The midterm review is being undertaken to see how so far is the implementation of the SDGs. And I believe the last 5 years of the SDGs implementation or trying to achieve it, there will always be a review taken up by the United Nations. So I think, it's not I think, I believe that there is a review process along the implementation period of the SDGs 2030. So I'm convinced that 2025, which is the beginning of the last 5 years, there will be a review at the UN to see how far or how less is the achievement of each of the goals of the SDGs. So if we have these kind of undertakings, whether it's in the UN, whether it's in ASEAN, if it goes 5 years, 10 years, 20, 25 years, there is always a review process that is being undertaken. I don't know specifically on each of the targets so far, but regardless whether the achievement is low, there is of course an alarm for all of us that certain targets are still low in its achievement. So more actions needs to be taken to have a higher rate of achievement. So these reviews are useful for all of us to know where we are. But again, I don't know specifically at this point of time how the review has been resulted, so that we know this goal is still far away, this goal is progressing well, this goal is near to its achievements. But to close, I would like to encourage again everyone, regardless of the progress or the view that it is something not achievable, the important thing that we need to believe that the SDGs is a highly beneficial concept. It is a correct concept that all of us, the people, must understand that it is something, it's a good cause, that it is something beneficial for all of us to achieve. So don't lose your motivation, don't lose your spirit, be motivated, continue to be optimistic that the SDGs 2030 is something that all of us do actually need. So this lady says already time out. Thank you very much.
Once again, give applause to an amazing answer from Mr. Derry. That question concludes the end of the question and answer session today. Permission for me to read the conclusion. Mobilizing youth for SDG implementation in ASEAN requires turning ideas into concrete actions, where young people play a vital role as change makers. By fostering innovative solutions, strengthening partnerships, and providing resources, ASEAN can harness the energy and creativity of its youth to address pressing social, economic, and environmental challenges. Through education, mentorship, and active participation, young leaders can drive sustainable change, bridging the gap between vision and reality for a more prosperous and inclusive future. Together, we can empower youth not only to envision a better ASEAN, but to take meaningful steps towards achieving the sustainable development goals. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Derry. And the next session, we will proceed the talk show with a token of appreciation to His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Iskandar Derry Aman. Following this, we would also like for Mr. Aulia Lukman Asis SS SPD MPD to come forward to present the souvenir awarding. Once again, thank you very much to Mr. Day and Mr. Aulia Lukman. With respect, you may return to your seat, Mr. Derry. Thank you so much for the insightful discussion today. Good luck, Mr. Derry. Stay healthy. Thank you very much. Once again, give an amazing applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to an end of today's event, I would like to thank you all for your participation and engagement. I am Bolivia Taliokom, honored to be your moderator for AVISOC 2024. I apologize for any shortcomings in my words or actions throughout our time together. Time and floors I yield back to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you once again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a round of applause for our moderator and our speakers today.
Fafa, we're going to continue to the next event, which has been waiting for all the participants to this moment, right?
Of course, this is actually the moment that all participants have been waiting for. But for your information, if the countries that joined the official competition this time were all countries in Asia.
All the countries in ASEAN, including Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Brunei, and the others country.
Exactly, and we have more than 1,500 participants in all competition
Two categories. There is two categories for these competitions.
Article opinion and
and poster.
That's right.
Okay, without any further ado, let's announce the winner for artificial opinion competitions category. Congratulations! For the bronze medal goes to Paul Aron Dangat Ali Buyong, Vic Angelo di Tukwit, Yvonne Geputang, Elam Joshua Azupardo, Mikel Angelo Flaris, Ayu Wulandari, Sabina Dona Amalia, Carlos Valentino, Emi Peter Mauluda, Lutfiana Nastiti, Kirei Englis Gaida, Fasa Pasca Janata,
Alia Faith Dagumboy, Fadila Dihan Riandini, Arul Joseph Villarreal, Savana Haifa Warda Sabita, Rama Aswandi, Dina Nadifatul Muazzaroh, Dania Aisyah Faras Alfanida, Evina Aulia, Dava Atala Saputra, Naila Putih Ramadhani, Bensa Ringor, dan Tuyapon Koiren Hisbi. And the next is silver article opinion competition. Congratulations goes to Pretisia Mega Ayumi, Kaisario Titan Yuda, Arafela R. Natalio, Tiara Azalia Zahra, Chelsea Hayu Anuru, Muhammad Aziz Al-Fajri, Randy Florenza Rumui,
Neha Aura Fatma, Delia Seftiana Putri Aji, Ervan Maulana Ilyas, Kezia Amadea Intan, Aulia Rahmawati, Eldora Holisa, Anindita Hansa Reswara, dan Pasya Nafiraniza. For the Gold Article Opinion Competitions, congratulations for John Lee B. Kaloiloy, Rizky Helmaliana Febriani, Rogena Karispal, Nabila Ulfa binti Haji Jopri, Mujibur Rahman, Hayatun Syamilah binti Haizir Syam,
Fariha Salsal Fauzia, Raihan Faiza Ulhaq, Ilham Mardiansyah, Izatul Maulidiyah, and Akmal Parikazir. And congratulations to all winners from the bronze medals, silver medal, and gold medals.
The second competitions is poster competitions. The winner for bronze medal goes to, congratulations for Amanda Marcela Duyanti, Ian Fandi Aseta, Muhammad Asmar Raihan Hamdalah, Fadila Ayu Dwi Paraswati, Rizky Akbarullah Dwi Apriliansyah, Mursil Juli Martinez, Revinsya Amrizal, Andreas Pandu Prasetya,
Yuskia Albenigo Pakpakan, Umi Nur Azizah, Frijai Kaila Gamboa, Agraini Dwi Leksana Tias, Alia Hasna Putri, Nicholas Louis Adi Pratama, Ketrapat Sangna, Upi Suryani, Nilmark Santiago, dan Maria Francisca P. Posadas. And silver poster competition, congratulations goes to Muhammad Adam Danul bin Mohit Abid, Aprilia Saka Budiantoro Putri, Benita Luciani Gulo, Cecily Metadavi, Tiara Santia, Abesu Siva Kumar, Malika Miftahul Rohmah, Elsa Yola Septiana Goziana, Rich L,
Nabila Hidayatul Amalia, Nur Farahin binti Rahime, Nevi Kumalasari, Naila Kurota Putri D, Haura Ihsan Ruha, F. Partisia Vigili. For the gold poster competitions, congratulations goes to Serene Samaria de Bautista,
Pangilinan Paul Angel,
Cindy Marta Khairullah,
Hari Firmansyah, and Asnawi.
Once more, congratulations for all the winner for the best competitions, artificial opinions, and poster.
And ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our program, we have a special treat for you. We are excited to present the Administratio Choir, talented group of individuals who will take us on a musical journey that embodies the spirit of our gathering today.
Please join me in welcoming Administratio Choir to the stage. Once more, give a round of applause for Administratio Choir.
And ladies and gentlemen, the next activity is a documentation session that will be guided by us as a master of ceremony today. To the committee in charge of asking for his help directing for the documentation session.
Please, to all the attendees together in the middle of the seat, and then for all the committees, let's take a picture together and document this moment. Please, for all the committees. Please, to all the attendees, to stand up. We're going to capture this moment together with all the committees and the attendees of AVISOC 2024. Teman-teman boleh berdiri, kita foto di tengah, di sini bareng-bareng sama panitia kita semua. Lalu kepada panitia yang bertugas, mungkin boleh membantu untuk mendokumentasikan sesi ini.
Alright, let's audience, we can take a pic together. You can stand up, please. Okay, we'll be guide. Start from countdown. 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2, 1.
Another poses. Happy poses. Happy poses. Okay.
Let's start again. From 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Please give a round of applause for the committee and all of us. On behalf of AVISOC 2024 talk show, we would like to take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude
to our distinguished guests, faculty members, and students. Thank you for joining us today. Let us continue to strive for excellence and innovation in all our academic endeavors.
Have a wonderful afternoon ahead. I'm Hikmah Ayu Fitriani.
And I'm Akmal Falahuddin.
Signing out. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.